UFC fans, it's great to be back in Las Vegas as we welcome you to the official weigh-ins for UFC 183, Silva versus Diaz. Tomorrow night, only on pay-per-view, the greatest fighter to ever enter the octagon, Anderson Silva, is back and ready to begin his journey towards regaining his UFC middleweight belt. His opponent will be former Strikeforce champion Nick Diaz. The Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt has finished his opponent in 9 of his last 11 wins, and he is set to fight at 185 for the first time in his long career. Also on pay-per-view, Tyron Woodley faces 11-0 Kelvin Gastelum. We'd like to send out a special welcome to our UFC Fight Club members and thank our UFC sponsors. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Harley-Davidson, the new Street 750 and 500 motorcycles are in. Grab yours and don't look back. See the new motorcycles at harley-davidson.com. Metro PCS, nationwide 4G LTE, riding on the T-Mobile network for $50 period. And by Muscle Farm, fueling athletes safely. And now, to get the official weigh-ins for UFC 183 underway, here is Joe Rogan.
What's happening, my friends? Welcome to the weigh-ins. Ariane, Vanessa, Brittany, Dana White. Without him, none of this would be possible. Joe Silva, best matchmaker on the planet Earth. Lorenzo Fertitta, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, Bert Watson, babysitter to the stars. We got a banging card for you, folks. We're going to kick things off in the middleweight division. Thiago Santos versus Andy Ems. From Mr. Ems and his opponent, Thiago Santos. $185.5 for Mr. Santos. Live on UFC Fight Pass, ladies and gentlemen, first fight of the night, Thiago Santos and Andy Ems. The next fight takes place in the middleweight division. Jose Moya versus Ildemar Alcantara. The next fight takes place in the featherweight division. Diego Brandao versus Jimmy Hedis. For the kid. And his opponent, Diego Brandao. $142 for Mr. Brandao. Jimmy Hedis and Diego Brandao, ladies and gentlemen. UFC Fight Pass. The next fights take place on Fox Sports 1. The prelims. We kick things off in the middleweight division. Rafael Natal versus Tom Watson. $186 for Mr. Watson. And his opponent, Rafael Natal. $185.5 for Mr. Natal. Tom Watson and Rafael Natal, ladies and gentlemen. First fight on Fox Sports 1. The next fight takes place in the flyweight division. Ian Uncle Creepy McCall versus John. 'John 'John 'John' 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 'Joh First up on the scale, John Hands of Stone Lineker.
What's he supposed to be? 125? 130.
130. John is 5 pounds overweight. And his opponent, Uncle Creepy, Ian McCall. From Mr. McCall. John Lineker and Ian McCall, ladies and gentlemen. Next fight takes place in the middleweight division. Ed Short Fuse Herman versus Derek Brunson. From Mr. Brunson. And his opponent, Ed Short Fuse Herman. For Mr. Herman. Derek Brunson and Ed Herman, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight takes place in the women's bantamweight division. MIESHA Cupcake Tate versus Sarah McMahon. Up on the scale, Sarah McMahon.
Don't move, Darren. 35 and a half.
135 and a half. And her opponent, the former Strikeforce Bantamweight champion, MIESHA Tate.
135 and a half.
135 and a half for Miss Tate. MIESHA TATE, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we move to the main card. Live on pay-per-view, we kick things off in the welterweight division. Jordan Young Gun Meehan versus Thiago Alves. From Pitbull. And his opponent, Jordan Meehan. For Mr. Meehan. An outstanding welterweight fight to kick off the pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Thiago Alves and Jordan Meehan. The next fight takes place in the middleweight division. Thales Leites versus Tim the Barbarian Boesch. From Mr. Boesch. And his opponent, Thales Leites. For Mr. Leites. Ladies and gentlemen, the next fight takes place in the lightweight division. Joe Lozon versus Al Iaquinta. 156. Wash your shorts, dude. They're too heavy. That's a great lightweight fight, ladies and gentlemen. Al Iaquinta and Joe Lozon. The next fight takes place in the welterweight division. Tyron Woodley versus Calvin Gastelum. Calvin misses by 10 pounds. And his opponent, Tyron Woodley. From Mr. Woodley. Calvin Gastelum and Tyron Woodley, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's take a closer look at the two men involved in the main event of the evening.
Unbelievable! Are you kidding me? The greatest fighter on the planet, Anderson Silva! Oh no! He hurt his leg, and it is all over! Oh no. Anderson hurt his leg when the kick was checked, and Weidman remains the champion.
And this might be the end of a great mixed martial arts career.
Ninguém é invencível. Por muito tempo as pessoas achavam que eu era invencível. Eu nunca imaginei perder da maneira que eu perdi e nunca imaginei na minha vida ter me machucado como eu me machuquei. Mas agora é bola pra frente. Eu quero voltar. O que tinha que ser feito na perna já foi feito, né? O foco é 100% na luta.
I've been doing this for a long time. I've had some of the hardest fights. So when it comes to Anderson Silva, it's not an issue for me. I've just had a lot of experience when it comes to stand-up and boxing and jiu-jitsu.
O Nick Diaz é um cara muito perigoso, né? Ele é um cara duro, é um cara que tem um grande jiu-jitsu, é um cara que tem um boxe excepcional, mas todo mundo tem um ponto fraco.
Straight up, look, he's a big popular draw. I'm a big popular draw. We're the best there is. There's nothing to say. So the best thing you can do is just keep your mouth shut and come out fighting. It's what it is.
As pessoas querem ver. As pessoas, pô, é isso aí, vai lá pegar esse cinturão. Mas eu vou fazer, entendeu? Porque eu amo fazer isso. Isso é o que eu sou. Isso é o que eu faço. Eu não posso deixar de fazer o que eu amo.
The Spider is back! Back!
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the former Strikeforce welterweight champion, Diaz! we'll keep it as brief as possible. Give us your thoughts on Anderson, his opponent, what tomorrow night means to you.
Anderson's, it's great. It's the best there is, so we're here to fight the best there is. Just want to thank everybody for standing by me. Everybody back at home, Stockton 209. Thank you for standing by me. We're taking on the world here, one fight at a time.
And it's Nick Diaz, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm here with the former champion, the greatest of all time, Anderson Silva. Anderson, how good does it feel to be back?
So I'm so happy because 1 year I broke my leg, and when I talk to my family, my family say, "Dad, no back more for a fight, done." But this is me, this is my life. I need to say thank you for everything. Thank you for all the people in here tonight. And tomorrow, me and Nick, I go to fight for a great show for all the people in here. Thank you.
Can't wait. Thank you very much, sir. Anderson Silva, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you very much.